Hey everybody! Tonight we're doing something different. We are playing the Alone in the Dark remake demo for PS5. Now, full disclosure, I have never played an Alone in the Dark game. All I know is they're supposed to be pretty great in the early entries, until the later ones where it kinda tends to go to hell. That's all I know. I do know the word they're described as is Lovecraftian, which is a word that's usually thrown around a lot, but supposedly this is supposed to be based on it has the same vibes as the type of stories that Lovecraft would tell, like Cthulhu and all that stuff, so I'm pretty interested to see what it's like. I've heard the demo is pretty short, 10 to 15 minutes, so let's see if we can stretch it out to like half an hour. Do we have subtitles? Got performance and quality. Let's go to performance. I noticed we can adjust the brightness, so hopefully it's not too dark. I like the look of the central character though on the menu screen. Looks like a nice adventurous British girl. At least that's the vibe that the jacket she's wearing gives me. Not this one, the other one on the menu screen. Alone in the Dark by Cassandra Beauregard. Oh, is this gonna have meta stuff in it? So this is a remake of the very first Alone in the Dark, which I have never played, as I just told you. I believe it was it a PC game? I believe it was a PC game, right? Like the very first survival horror game, or one of the very first survival horror games. Okay, so we're starting off with this girl. Let's see what we have here.
Not my best work, if I'm being honest.
I'd say it's okay. Like some kids get that age can't even draw a stick figure, so that looks pretty good. Oh, look at those creepy dolls. Then this one looks like Baby Oopsie from Demonic Toys. Does anyone even wear these types of hats anymore? I know they were popular decades ago, but does anybody still wear these types of hats today? Got a Jack in the Box. Can you punch it? Moldy ass bear, look at that thing. Oh, this is a nice touch. Amazing Stories by H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, and who's the last one? Oh, Edgar Allan Poe. I've seen lots of covers of Amazing Story, the magazine. I never read it growing up, but I always wanted to. I'd love to get my hands on some of those retro copies. I imagine they must go for quite a lot now on auction sites, because all those authors went on to pretty much become famous writers, so. And I believe a lot of the stuff was also reprinted, so that's why you get stories for like Edgar Allan Poe and stuff.
Look at this mess.
So what time period are we in? Is this the 1940s, 1930s? What time period is this? So we can go outside, but do we really want to? Okay, so that's locked. We need a key. I believe Shadow Out of Time was also printed in Amazing Stories, wasn't it? Or was it Weird Tales? I know that story first premiered in a magazine. It might have been Weird Tales. And Shadow Out of Time is often considered to be Lovecraft's best story.
Huh?
You know, Cthulhu gets all the attention, but Shadow Out of Time is probably the one
Oh goodness, you scared me.
I think is the best so far.
What
The
are
ones
you
I've
up
read.
to, Jeremy?
I have to tell someone what is going on here. I have to try. You're not one of them, are you? Please tell me, Grace. You're not a spy.
Nice beard.
Who's spy?
Them, the others, all of them. No, you're too innocent.
I'm too innocent.
I need to get this letter to my niece. She would understand.
Damn, is he
Just
going
give it to
grey
the
in real
clerk,
time?
Mr. Waits, and he'll post it.
No, he could be in on it. What if he won't post my letter?
Then don't make it look like it's one of yours. Here, let me do it.
Yeah, look for a moment there like his beard was going grey in real time.
Miss Emily Hartwood, Dauphin Street, New Orleans. You don't have the number? Not sure the postman's gonna find it without...
He's gone.
Jeremy? Where'd he go? I'll just post it myself then. I'll just take this letter downstairs to the clerk's office myself.
Ah, the good old days when you actually had to mail a letter instead of just sending an email. There's the key. Got the stair hall key. Is this where we save?
Uh-oh, Cassandra. I'm touching your typewriter.
Okay, so we're in New Orleans. That's why the accent. Obviously the letter said New Orleans, but I thought maybe they were in a different location, or he was sending it to New Orleans, so obviously we're actually there. That's probably where we should head. But let's go in here first. I want to see what's in here. Oh, those roaches.
Cassandra should be more careful with her medicine.
Is someone dead in there? Oh, what's this? Oh, speaking of Weird Tales, there it is. Weird Tales. The unique magazine. Okay, so we're in the 20s, September 1926. I can see the date. Is that the devil in the plant? Or the devil of plant? The devil plant. Never heard of that one, but I'm sure it's an actual story. That's a nice touch. Yeah, I wonder how much copies of that magazine go for.
I already washed my hands today.
Just once? You're supposed to do it more than once, kid. Yeah, I wonder if they might be cheap to find on eBay or not. Or if they'll cost you a bit more. Because it would be nice to have some of those actual stories in the magazines where they premiered. I know retro comic books go for a lot sometimes, but what about these type of magazines? Amazing Stories, Weird Tales, stuff like that. How much does that go for? Personally, I think Lovecraft's best story is probably either Shadow Out of Time or Color Out of Space, one of those two. Even though Cthulhu lends his name to the whole mythos, I think those two are actually the best stories he had. Especially interesting considering Color Out of Time pretty much stands alone. It's not really connected to any of the others except taking place in the same universe. That's pretty much the only connection it has.
Creepy.
I'm guessing that's somewhere in Africa or Asia with those grass huts and the sheep. This is gonna be a puzzle later on, I'm sure. Maybe not here, but definitely in the actual game. This looks like a xenomorph. Oh.
Oh no, Jeremy, what have you done?
How is this little girl not freaked out by the fact that these statues just changed positions and some of them disappeared? Unless he was right and she is in on it. Damn, it turned into a wilderness. He sounds like the like that paranoid character in Eternal Darkness, the one who ended up killing all his servants because he thought they were in on the whole conspiracy. Can we go down there? Or is it wise to go down there, given that we have no weapons? She said go down to the postmaster's office, but what's that bird doing there? That's a huge ass pigeon, look at that. Are some of those animals gonna come to life like the stuffed bear? It's in here. Let's see. No, we need the key. This game was actually supposed to come out now in October. Got delayed to January, which sucks, but on the plus side, it does give me a chance to get a new hard drive for the PS5, because I already got this system like I only got it like 4 weeks ago, and it's already 75% filled on the hard drive. I got space for only 2 more games, Spider-Man 2 and RoboCop, and I think that's that. I think that's the end of the storage space, so I gotta get a new drive, hopefully on Black Friday. Oh god damn, what the hell? Got werewolves? Okay, so this girl is on it. Because she's not bothered at all by these Come on girl, tip the bear over. She wasn't bothered at all by that monster, period, so clearly whatever she is, she's not actually human. Or if she is, she's like the daughter of a warlock or something. Cause she was not... Yeah, she's not bothered by that thing in the water at all. She gave it an order to stay like it's a pet or something. Oh, we got monsters. Yeah, either she knows what's going on, or else this is not the first time the house is kind of shifted and warped like this.
I suppose this mess pales in comparison to the foyer. Oh, a little night music.
That old-fashioned radio reminds me of Legacy of Kain Blood Omen 2 when Noskov was kind of modernizing before Kain wrecked it again, and they had the old-fashioned like Victorian devices, and they had the antique radios and all that stuff. Some rotted fruit, chocolate chip cookie, can't tell what that is, looks like the snout of a pig. Oh, look at this one, Metropolis. Wonder what that magazine was about. It's a hunting magazine. Game rifles. I'm guessing we're gonna get 2 of those. Remember the elephant gun from Eternal Darkness? That thing was powerful. Like 1 or 2 shots were enough to completely kill one of the heavy demons. I forgot what they were called, but they were the really large ones. They weren't brutes. They were something else, but all you needed was 1 or 2 shots from the elephant gun to kill them. That was pretty much the first and only time I've seen an elephant gun in the game. I mean, in any video game. So I'm guessing this is where we have to take the letter, but I want to see what's in here first. Oh damn, it's locked. I guess we're delivering that letter.
Mr. Waits? Hello? Mr. Waits? Hello?
If she's not in on it, this little girl needs a knife or something. There's like 10 monsters out there. What is that? Damn. That's how it ends, huh? Wait, is that the end of the demo? No, of course not. Yeah, I would have been pissed if it was. It was only a 5-minute demo. Assembly Heartwood, Dauphine Street, New Orleans.
Last night I dreamt that my uncle hung himself in the attic. That we were too late. The house looked different, but it was still
Jodie
called
Comer,
her
is
son.
that That's not that Doctor Who actress, is she?
Feels like I've been here before. I just
Oh,
can't
David
find
Harbour.
it.
Viking Santa. And
Let's
what was
not
he called? The
waste
Red
any time.
Patriot or something like that? In the
Yeah.
Black Widow movie?
You're right. Let's go get your uncle, Miss Hartwood.
But I know him better as Viking Santa from Violent Night. He played a good Santa. Even though it took him a little too long to shift it to the fighting badass at the end, but still. Oh, that is the end of the demo. Pre-order now. No thanks. I'll probably pre-order. I won't pre-order it. I'll buy it from either Best Buy or Walmart when it comes out, depending on if they offer any bonuses or whatever. So she's not British. She's from New Orleans. But then again, like I said, I've never known, because I've never played these games, so I have no idea what the backstory is on these games. I know they span different times. Like I think the last one, the one that really sucked was in what time did it take place in? I think it was like the 90s, right? Or was it the early 2000s? The one on the PS3 that Vash plays for Halloween every year. That one sucks from what I've seen, but it takes place in modern times. So like, when does this actually take place? You know, obviously this one in the 20s, but I mean like the whole series kind of tends to take place across different time periods, I assume. So that was the Alone in the Dark demo. Pretty short, which I expected. Would have been nice if they'd have given us a little bit more of the game, you know, let us walk around a bit in the mansion, but I'm guessing it wasn't ready at this time, because this demo came out, like 3 or 4 months ago, so I'm guessing it wasn't yet ready to show. I think you can choose between the two different characters, right? You play as either Heartwood or the detective. I'm guessing she's hired that detective, so you play as one or the other. I'll probably play as her first, just because with her being connected to that guy we saw in the prologue, she's probably the more interesting character. But I'm guessing it's gonna be like, one of those cases where maybe he gets the more powerful guns and she's more puzzle solving or something like that. It looks good. Like, not much I can say, since it's only about 15. It's not even 15 minutes long. It's more like 13 minutes. I spent the first 2 minutes talking about the series. It is nice to see survival horror kind of making a little bit of a comeback, because up until now, Silent Hill was absent, and obviously Alan Wake. The first wasn't quite survival horror, but even that game was pretty much being developed all this time. And obviously this has been absent for a while. You know, Fatal Frame's kind of gone. And so what you had is pretty much Resident Evil, which has made a bit of a comeback since 6. You had Resident Evil, and then you had a whole bunch of games, indie and AAA games that were basically just running simulators. Pretty much, you just run and hide from the enemy, and that's it. You don't fight, you can't defend yourself no matter what. You just run and hide from everything. And some people love those types of games, especially in first person view. I don't. I actually don't like first person horror games where all you do is just hide from the creatures or the killers or whatever. I don't like that type of game. You know, the whole Outlast thing where you pass 1,000 different objects you can use as a weapon to defend yourself, but no, you gotta ignore them all, hide in a closet and pray the maniacs in the asylum just slip past you. Like that type of gameplay sucks to me. I don't like that at all. So I don't like Outlast, I don't like Amnesia, I don't like any of that stuff. I heard about that one, Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs. That story is stupid. Like, I saw a video spoiling the story of that. That story is stupid. I don't like the gameplay either. I know Outlast Trials came out a while ago, and supposedly it's slightly different from the other Outlast games. A bit more fun, but I saw a playthrough of Outlast 1 and that was enough for me. I saw Mars play it. You know Mars. On YouTube, I saw her play it, and yeah, I did not like what I see. I did not like what I saw from that game. It's just a running simulator. You just run and hide pretty much all over the place. I wonder what happens if we go to the pre-order screen. I want to see if it gives us any more detail in the game. I'm not going to order it now, but still. I guess it's not that far away. It's January 16th, so pre-order now and receive their Zero 1992 costume pack. See what it says. Psychological horror meets Southern Gothic in this reimagination of the classic survival horror game Alone in the Dark. Reimagination. I kinda hate that term, but it paid off for Resident Evil 2. Not so much for 3. 3 was kinda ass, but it paid off for 2 and it paid off for 4, so. This love letter to the groundbreaking original lets you experience the haunting story through the eyes of one or two protagonists. Play as either Edward Carnby or Emily Hartwood and explore your environments, fight monsters, solve puzzles, and uncover the uneasy truth of their Zero Manor. Carnby, yeah, that's the guy whose family line kind of traces throughout the games, right? Like, I know the protagonist in the one that was the last game on PS3. I know he was a Carnby. I also think, like, didn't it get less Lovecraftian and more like demon stuff as it went along? Because I've heard that the first game has pretty much strong Lovecraft vibes, but then the one I saw on PS3 was talking about hell and messiahs and demons and all this stuff, and that shit's not Lovecraft. Like, I don't even know what the hell that is. Like, some weird combination of Lovecraft and like I don't even know what to call it, but yeah, that one didn't see Lovecrafting at all, so I'm guessing the atmosphere of the series changed as developers came and went throughout the years. So deep in the 1920s South, Emily Hartwood's uncle has gone missing. Together with private investigator Edward Carnby, she embarks on a journey to their Zero Manor, home for the mentally ill where something is lurking. You'll encounter strange residents, nightmarish realms, dangerous monsters, and ultimately uncover a plot of rising evil. At the intersection of reality, mystery, and insanity, an adventure waits that will challenge your core beliefs. Who can you trust? What will you believe, and what will you do next? That sounds epic. They're making it sound like this awesome, great adventure. I hope it lives up to it. So it's also a home for the mentally ill. That makes it more interesting because it's basically a mental hospital or an insane asylum. So I guess even some of the people there are going to be kind of freaky. Explore their Zero Manor in this reimagination of Alone in the Dark, a love letter to the 90s cult classic horror game. Return to the roots of psychological horror and experience an atmospheric journey worthy of the game that started the genre. Also, this was not only one of the first survival horror games, it was also the first psychological horror games. Maybe the first. I didn't know that. I always assumed Silent Hill was the first psychological horror game. Because I knew survival horror was obviously an older genre. Like, I think Sweet Home was the first game. Then you had Resident Evil 96, but I didn't know that this was a psychological horror. I thought it was just plain survival horror. Dive into a world full of sounds that make your skin crawl with a haunting yet mesmerizing doom jazz soundtrack. Yeah, I knew that was jazz. I knew that was a nice jazz soundtrack playing. You see, people, Persona did not invent jazz music. Alone in the Dark did. Alone in the Dark invented jazz music. Enjoy the thrill of desperate survival in a world where reality starts to crumble, evil lurks in every shadow, and ammunition is scarce. Experience this nightmare from either Emily Hartwood or Edward Carnby's perspective and unearth the dark secrets of a gothic mansion. There's Carnby again. I am curious whether he does have something deeper to do with it, or is it maybe like his whole line is cursed based on what happens in this game, because if there's still Carnby's later, like decades later, investigating supernatural stuff, I'm guessing either he was always a part of it, or else maybe he got cursed from what happens here. Like maybe this guy gets cursed and then all his descendants are cursed from then on. Immerse yourself in a deep psychological story that goes beyond the realms of the imaginable by Mikhail Hedberg, co-writer of Soma and Amnesia. Oh boy. That is that's kind of a warning bell. It's kind of a red flag, but as long as the gameplay's fine, I'll trust it. Because what I've heard I've heard the second Amnesia story is kind of stupid, but the first one in Soma, I don't think I've heard that they had bad stories. I think it's just the gameplay that annoys people. Like, some people really like that thing where you can't defend yourself and I gotta run and hide because it makes the tension high and it ramps up the tension, it ramps up the scares, and even if there's a damn machete laying two feet nearby, I'm not gonna take it because I have to run to make it scary. Like, some people like that type of idea in movies and games. I just find it stupid. Like, whether you have a human or a monster coming after you, you're really not gonna take any weapon you can to defend yourself. You're just gonna pass up lead pipes, knives, glass, daggers. Even in some games, you even pass a freaking gun and you can't use it. Like, that always seemed ridiculous to me, that you have to cripple the protagonist completely, unrealistically. People will defend themselves in real life if they can, most of the time. Even if they're frozen in fear, they will try to defend themselves. The idea that you can pass up 30 viable weapons and you can't pick them up for the sake of the game being scary is sheer downright stupidity to me. So I don't like those types of games. But if he's just doing the story and the gameplay, you can fight back and you can defend yourself, that's fine. Like I said, just as long as he's only doing the story and it's not taking anything else from Soma or Amnesia, I'll be fine. See, Emily and Edward brought to life. Oh, there's a typo there. It's supposed to be brought to life. It's supposed brought to live. Brought to life by the Hollywood talent of Jodie Comer. I mistook her for Jodie, what's her name, Whitmer or something like that, the girl from Doctor Who. So it's not her, it's Jodie Comer. Killing Eve, Free Guy. I have Free Guy on Blu-ray, I haven't seen it yet. And David Harbour, Stranger Things, Black Widow, who lend their voices, their appearance, and their formidable acting skills to the protagonist. They didn't mention Violent Night, which I think is probably some of his best work so far. He was good in Black Widow though, probably one of the few highlights of that film. In my opinion, the film wasn't bad, it was just mediocre. It took too long to come out. Most of the steam had gone by the time it came out, and the story wasn't anything revolutionary. It wasn't anything great or particularly emotional, but he was good in it. I have not seen Stranger Things at all, so I've got to get down and watch that Netflix show eventually, because I have not seen one single frame of Stranger Things at all. I know about the monsters, I know about the upside down world, I know about that weird little girl, where's her name, 11, 12, something like that, who comes from the upside down world. I have not seen the show at all. Offline single player enabled, offline play enabled. Online features require an account and are subject to terms of service and applicable privacy. So, are they going to do DLC then? Or is that just strictly for the digital version of the game? I'm guessing they'll do DLC, because every game does DLC nowadays, so I'm guessing they will do it. Alright, so New Orleans Horror 1920 sounds like a pretty good premise. I like the art style though, they didn't go 100% realistic like Resident Evil's trying to do nowadays. It has its own unique spin, which is always appreciated. Not all games have to look the same. It's nice when they do a unique art style for a game. It makes it feel a lot more like its own different type of story. This feels like, just looking at it, it almost seems like an art book come to life. That's what it feels like, an old-fashioned art book or comic book or a noir story or detective story come to life, like one of those Pulp Fiction stories, like the ones you would find in Amazing Stories or Weird Tales magazines. That type of story come to life, so it looks pretty interesting. THQ Nordic, I have not heard of a THQ game ever since I stopped playing their WWE games, so I'm curious to see what they can present us with, but that is it for now on Alone in the Dark. So we started with Grace, that's the little girl. They crossed out alone and put her name in. So I'm guessing, yeah, I'm guessing she's either not human or is the daughter of some warlock or sorcerer or witch or some type of creature like that, because she did not seem startled at all by that infestation of monsters. So I'm really curious to see what her deal is. I guess I could look up the original story from Alone in the Dark, but I'm not gonna do that. You know, look up the story for 1993 games. I want to be surprised by what it is. So January, huh? It's not that long of a wait. We're in November already. We're almost there, right? We're halfway there to November, so it's not that long of a wait. What, like 2.5 months basically? Almost about 3 months. So hopefully by then I have a hard drive I can actually install the game on, because like I said, I've only got space for Spider-Man 2 and RoboCop, and after that things get kind of dicey. That's also why I'm not buying Alan Wake 2. In addition to my protest against it being all digital, I just don't have the space for a 100 gigabyte game left on the PS5 if I install those two. And Spider-Man 2 and RoboCop definitely take priority over an all digital Alan Wake 2. That game can wait. But hopefully they put some nice hard drive on sale for Black Friday so we can get one. I gotta remember though to actually get a big one this time, because that was the mistake I made with my PS4. I got a hard drive that was too small and then had to buy 2 others to compensate for that. So hopefully we get a nice big juicy hard drive we can install on the PS5, and then we'll play Alan Wake 2 and then this game when it comes out. But thank you for watching. Next time you see me, I'll be back to probably Resident Evil again, separate ways, or hardcore playthrough with Leon, probably separate ways. And I also got to get back to Silent Hill 3 and Spider-Man Miles Morales before Spider-Man 2 comes out, because we've only got less than a week. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time, probably with Resident Evil 4 separate ways with Ada on professional difficulty. We're going to finish that out, so see you later.